Hello, everybody.
I'm in good Wi-Fi. I have a feeling. I've been practicing all day. I'm gonna put this to the test. Rachel, we got you taken care of today.
Finally, I everything on this website is different because now when you go to just your dashboard, it has the scheduled meetings. It used to be on the other page, you know what I mean? And then you have to go to that one and click on it, and then you get to version 2. So I said, okay, because I got a meeting at 5 o'clock, and then I connected with 3 more people today, and I'm just thinking I got to get
Yeah.
this thing going. And I got one tomorrow morning, and it's like, oh, great.
But now it's good. So the key was the setting up that personal link in the right way. It's
Right,
that
that was it. And then knowing that the scheduled meetings are from the dashboard and not from my meetings, which is, that's to me is a little weird, but it is what it is. So,
right. You mean starting the meeting from your dashboard versus clicking on the link.
right.
Yeah. As soon as we get rid of version 1, you'd be able to do it both ways. So
Right.
that was the clumsy compromise, as we say, right?
Yeah, that was it. And she was very helpful because she just said, I went, oh, I get it. I finally find out what you're doing. And that's doink.
And let me just show people what we're talking about, right? Kind of
Yeah.
like friends start conversations off in the middle. We don't do the setup. We don't explain anything to anybody. But Rachel was having an issue this morning, and the fix was you go into my account, you go into my profile because you have to set this up. I really never kind of went through this in the training, but when everyone can create their own personal link as opposed to the invitation link that you just generates with every meeting when you're scheduling a meeting. So you see here, if I want to edit it, I literally hit edit and I can have it / whatever I want. Steve, my pitch, the name of my company, any of that. And then I hit save and you see that's my personal link now. meet.mypitch.com / my Steve. That black highlight is what I can change. And so if you haven't gone in and done that and you're scheduling meetings, you may go, something's off. Something's not quite working right. And that's the area, that it was. So it's kind of nice when customer service works, right? And we actually figure out what's going on, right?
That's true. I know. And it was weird because we get this phone number that looks like from another country. And it's like, am I going to answer this phone or is it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then,
Yeah.
then she found me on WhatsApp. And then I said, oh, you're the one that has the phone number that I'm not answering.
Exactly. So, and then to make up for yesterday's Wi-Fi debacle, since it's only 1:06, it's in your back office in the communication center.
Hello,
Play it
and
the
God
proper way.
bless you all. I appreciate everyone who made it or tried to make it to church today. It is always great to see you here. But true faith and connection with God are daily experiences meant to shape one's entire life rather than being confined to a single day. We are committed to helping guide you to live a faithful life, whether it be through community service, showing compassion to neighbors, or leaning into values of grace and gratitude. This is what navigates the challenges and conflicts that happen to all of us every day. When we can't be there to help, God's teachings and wisdom always can. Please take a moment and look through the following courses that may be resonating in your life right now. These teachings may prove to be invaluable when you are struggling to try to make sense of it all. Look over our courses, and I have a feeling that if you didn't make it last Sunday, I will be seeing you soon. God bless you all.
See, it does work better when you have Wi-Fi that works, right? And I know, Gary, you shared it with him this morning, and he was surprised, right? When he saw that today.
He sure was. He loved it. He thought it was fabulous.
Right.
And he was very grateful for it. So thank you. On his
And-
behalf.
Yeah, and just know that, quite honestly, it took me, about 30 minutes, I'm saying, to make that. In the 30 minutes, 29 of those minutes was writing the script.
Yeah.
And because I was able to read his material, on the website, it was easy to write the script because whenever you can use somebody else's words, they always like it better than your words, right? So the idea was I took his words and created a new speech, right, from things that he had said in the past. So it's in alignment. So it was very easy to do, and it was great. Nicholas, how are you, my friend?
Good, good. I just watched your video, but in any event, I have seen your new data for my video.
Nicholas, you sound like you're in a coal mine, and it's not a good day in the coal mine, just so you know.
I'll
True
be
going.
there.
Sorry. Let's try it. Let's see.
All right. I was looking for that video you were going to send me that you enhanced.
Oh, okay. I thought I did send it to you. I'll resend it to you with my comments and notes. I thought I'd sent you. It may be in your spam, if not, but I'll resend it after this call today. And I listed out my notes and thoughts for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And then no, that's okay. And then also yesterday I had a conversation with Alvaro, and I told him, that people were asking for what software that he uses, and so he gave me a couple of choices that you guys can check out. I didn't have a chance to try them myself yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up picking one, and then using it as a demo. And let me see if I can copy this, put it in the chat for you. Let's see if that'll copy. So the idea behind this, if you weren't on yesterday's phone call, is people ask me, how do you take 3 videos? And I think, as Vicky articulately said, stitch them together, into one video. So I showed you how you would do it once they're stitched together. But as you see, I put in the site a couple of names of companies that you can go. Some of them are free. Some of them, have no code, no coding, so that's where he tried to pick some of the simplest ones possible. Clipchamp is one, CLIPCHAMP, clipchamp.com. Openshot.org is another one. Shotcut, SHOTCUT.org, not .com, is the third one. And the other one, for those of you a little more sophisticated, not overly, right, guys, they have an editing program that I think is free, actually, but you got to be a little savvy. I saw when I tried to go in there, so it's in the chat, but also I just want to, sometimes the chat can be hard to read. I know it doesn't cut and paste well. So once again, Clipchamp, CLIPCHAMP.com, Openshot, OPENSHOT.org, and Shotcut, SHOTCUT.org, and DaVinci, like Leonardo, .ai. Okay? But what I'm going to do is, like I did with converting YouTube videos into MP3s, I'm going to find one that I can actually do. So that way I can say it from confidence. And again, the idea is let's say, for instance, you want to do a 15-minute video. Our AI avatars limit you to about 5 minutes. So like last week when you noticed that I did Shark Tank, that was, I put 3 videos together. And so literally I did 3 AI generated videos, and then I sent it to Alvaro and he stitched them together into one. And then I was able to upload that into iRecordings. My recordings is one video, attach the websites if that was needed. And so I know that sounds like a lot, but it actually wasn't, too much once you do it. Okay. Any questions on that? If you want, I could certainly walk you through it a little slower. But for those of you that weren't on yesterday, we just kind of had talked about it. So that's why I just wanted to follow up. Okay. So any questions on that? Otherwise, we're good.
Steve, which one of these is your favorite?
I haven't played with them yet. That's where I'm saying I'm guilty of not having done it yet myself. Sorry, Levon. By the way, for some reason, yours is the one that has background noise, so I just kind of muted you out. But if you want to unmute yourself at any time, go ahead, my friend. But I always, quite honestly, go for 2 things. things drive my behavior, which one is free, and then which one doesn't require any coding, right? Those are my starting points, right? And then I'm willing to compromise, right? Like if I'll pay a small amount if it makes it so much easier, right? I want to really see the value of that and knowing that I'm going to use it. So that's why, or I say to you, like this piece of software here I found. Let me, I'm sorry, I didn't share the screen. It helps if I do that. Let's find that. Here, like this software, you know, I found several months ago. This is the one that I use to convert YouTube videos into small audio clips that I could use then to create voices of celebrities, as opposed to using it for myself. In this one, I literally cut and paste a YouTube video. I then click on the scissors because I don't want to convert a whole hour and a half, right? I'm only looking for a 30 second to a minute clip. So I literally click on that clip part, and then I put in the exact time that I want of that video. I hit convert, then I download it for free, and then I upload it into our system. So this has been a great find for me because I actually use it. And it's completely free and reliable. And so I want to try to find that the same for editing the videos. Again, free is not always the best for simplicity. That case it was. I'll see if I could mirror those results. And then if not, at some point in the future, it's just can't be at the top of the list. You know, we'll build it. That's the nice part about having your own company developers, right? At some point you go, oh, you know what? It doesn't exist and we're just going to go build it and make it easy for you. But what I really prefer is if you can upload 3 URLs, like 3 videos, or just upload these 3 pictures, you know, that kind of simplicity, and not try to offer you all the fancy services, changing the background, adding music to it. The person who knows how to do that or wants to do that, they already know how to do it. They didn't come to us thinking, how do I become a marketing whiz kid, right? But for the person who really wants to use it for our use case, I think we're really unusual that way. And so we may end up building it, but in the meantime, I'll try to find the best alternative. Go ahead, Les, how are you this morning or this afternoon? Sorry.
I'm doing great. Talking about backgrounds, you remind me of my question. On the Ford one, did AI create that background? Did you take a video with that background? How did that work?
No, I literally, that was about as old school, traditional, every single one I do. I pull up the website on Google. And then I went to so first I just searched car dealerships, right? Nothing fancy, right? And I saw that one and I thought, oh, that's a nice website. And then I literally went to salesmen. I clicked the tab on salesman and they had a picture of him standing in the parking lot. And I just took a screenshot off of Google. Then I saved it to my photos. So not a high quality resolution, even though it looks like it's high quality resolution. And then I just saved it to photos. And then when it created my AA avatar, I just uploaded photo. So no Adobe, no fancy, no Alvaro for me. There was just no customization. It was great. And then I chose one of our pre-made voices. I didn't go and find his voice because who cares what he sounds like, right? I just thought he looked like Wilford Brimley. So I tried to find an old man, right? That seemed a little charming, you know, and with his voice, you know, like a good old boy, right? Car dealership, right? Trying to fit the profile. And then I guess then the longest process for me, because I tend not to use AI, I write the script. And I write, you know, so for me, like once I heard the voice, in my mind, I was able to write the script. Right? Because the personality of the voice, the look, right? It was kind of easy to know he's just going to be this friendly guy, not hard sales, right? I made the personality that I knew already knew the person. He sold the car. In my mind, he sold it to them 3 years ago, right? So this isn't like, who am I, right? This is a warm retouch where you might not remember me at first hello, right? But because the picture had the car dealership in him, 99% chance they're going to open it. And they'll go, oh yeah, hey, look, honey, that, you know, that's Larry. You know what I mean? And you're right. Maybe we should look at buying a car again. He's probably right. It is about 3 years, you know. So that was the idea of making it as realistic as possible. Not me talking. Like the biggest mistake that people make in our AI avatar videos is they write the same speech, and if anybody could say it, right? It's kind of like, no, it's got to be that person's the only person that could say that speech in that way to that person. When you hear it that way, you write it that way. It comes that way. And again, there's nothing wrong with cheating with ChatGPT. If you're really good at, like, sometimes for me, I'm much better at editing something than starting from scratch. There's nothing worse than when I'm looking at a blank page and you go like, what's the first line? That could be lunch before I figure out what the first line is. And so sometimes ChatGPT gives me the kickstart. I can see that, as a way to just start the flow and then edit it. But like I say, now having done this a while, I'd say if you give yourself 30 minutes, you should be able to get it done. If you're taking, 5 hours, you're putting too much heart in it. Right? And the other person isn't going to see the results except you. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to know that you worked that hard on it, because the truth is it's probably not going to be that much different. And then the other piece of advice, and I know Gary lived that today, right, working with somebody, is sometimes, and for an unexplained reason, and I say unexplained because we don't have the explanation, I'm sure there is one, some pictures just don't do well in the AI model, right? Even though it looks as good as every other picture and should render as well, there's just certain factors. I'm saying that I've noticed some things do trigger things, but certain times it's unexplainable. So if you have a picture and it adds 10 years to your look and feel, we're not going to fix the picture. You got to change the picture, pick another one, right? If you like the Botox look, you got a better shot. Sometimes it usually errs on that side than it does the other way. But I would say I did notice that sometimes colors and length can change it. Like I noticed originally, if in all my corporate videos, I'm wearing a blue shirt. I was originally wearing a white shirt. And every time I wore a white shirt at a certain point in the video, I don't know why, and no one does, all of a sudden it started to change my face a little bit. And it started to have like a little glow around me. And it was something to do with that white shirt, because when I changed it to blue, it didn't happen. So go put that in the manual. Do you know what I mean? But if I did a white shirt for only a minute, it would have been fine. So I don't want to tell people don't do white shirts, right? I was saying, so that's where you kind of got to experiment a little bit. And it's like anything. It's like whether a business partner, a wife, or a photo. Start by choosing the right one. And it's going to be a lot easier journey than trying to fix the problem, right? Because that just takes a lot longer. I'm sorry, Les, you have a follow-up?
No, that's fine.
Oh, no, that's it. Oh, okay. I saw the hand
Steve,
pop up.
Steve, did you consider different shades of white for your shirt?
Is
this a thing?
that's where I try to save time. Right. I just go right to blue. I don't have waste time. You know what I mean? That's it. Hey,
I went to a Hey. Oh, I was going to say, I went to a Hey Gen event.
Oh, good.
Go ahead.
No, before you say that, I just wanted to confirm, Felipe, you got your credits this morning, right? Or this afternoon?
Appreciate it.
All right. I like when we actually do what we say. I just want to know.
Yeah, you did it. You delivered. Appreciate it.
All right. Go ahead, Charlie. Was it you who were talking about going to the Hey Gen event? Was it you?
Yeah, Gen event. Mostly because there was somebody I connected with a while back on LinkedIn, and they're local, and it was a local event, so that was fun. But I asked him, and I haven't used Hey Gen, to be honest. They were offering free avatars, right? Which you can't export it unless you're paying. But aside from that, he told me, don't wear black, don't wear white, and don't wear plaid.
There you go. Right? Unless it's Christmas. Take the exception, right?
Yeah.
And I will say to you, I have used all those companies. I've used Hey Gen, I've used Synthesia. There's 3 or 4 others I use, and they're good. I'm saying they're just complicated, compared to what we do. But the great part is, like I say, if you meet somebody in a corporate account and they say, hey, we've been using Hey Gen for 6 months, we're not switching to your avatar. And you say, good, you could use Hey Gen and just upload it here. I love that we don't have to have that debate of whose AI is better than somebody else's, right? It's kind of like, no, create it. In fact, our corporate videos in the Success Academy that teaches the comp plan were Hey Gen. That's before we were into it. We use Hey Gen for that. So there's proof that I
think these are fantastic. I mean, I have one of my profile pictures that's on LinkedIn is a high quality image. Like it's just a good photo because we took it with a good camera. It made a great a great video, and I've taken ones from just a screenshot of me, like here, and it works. It's insane. So yeah,
It does. And we also have the option when I think it's appropriate, when we get our pricing really solidified on the cheapest part, we can offer a more expensive, higher rendering version. Like right now it's rendering in 720 versus 1080. You know, I'm saying all those options are available to us to make that. I just, again, want to just try to keep things cost effective and scalable, right? Last thing I want in anybody is to say, hey, I spent $150 last month on all these videos, you know, and I didn't get anything back. Now, one single person, you know, did it, as opposed to, hey, I spent $25 and who cares? It's worth the investment. You know, I mean, that's the truth of marketing. But everyone always has one pain point when they don't think it's worth it. And I try to delay that as long as possible to give them the most time to get a result, you know, to get an ROI on what they're trying to do. And that's what I love about our testimonials. Like when Rachel said to me, I sent this and they signed up. It's like, that's such an oh my God moment, right? It's no matter what you do on paper, there's just nothing about it compares to the real world, you know, in that sense. So,
You know, Terry Marie and I had a conversation about photos. And I said, fortunately, I was able to use all my professional ones. Paul used to do business with somebody and who was a professional photographer, and he took some pictures of us. Not recently, these are like 10 years old, and then other pictures too. So I was able to pull those out and use those. And I said,
right,
fortunately, I still have them, you know what I mean, someplace filed away. But it's
right.
easier because the clarity is so different. I mean, if you try to
It
use a
is.
cell phone picture, forget it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're right. So
A long time ago, it's somewhere, we still have it. I did a celebrity one of John Lennon, right?
oh,
And and it was so realistic. I swear, I still think he's alive. I think I brought him back from the dead. It was so good in my mind. Like you say, just that quality, right, of the picture. It was almost eerie, you know, when I sent it to some people. Right? It was like, what? How is that possible, right? That's when I go, okay, we can compete with HN and these here, right, in those small little niches in that perspective. But so it's great, you know. So does anyone have anything special they need me to go through today? Want to, whether it be strategy, comp plan, product, avatar, thumbnail? Let's go through the
I have
list.
a question. I have a question. I uploaded a thumbnail on one of my already avatars that I created with a script, and I copied and pasted it to LinkedIn, somebody in LinkedIn, and it was great. Like I could see it fine. It looked great, rendered well. And then the next one I copied and pasted and it was just the URL. So it didn't bring over the thumbnail. And I was just wondering if I'm doing something wrong.
Sometimes you have to just wait, right? For some
Oh,
reason,
okay.
yeah, I know, and I know Gary has experience with that, right? It is like for some reason, right? You cut and paste it, and you go, "It's a link." Oh, damn, this thing doesn't work. And then you find out 10 minutes later when you go to check, it's there. I don't know. Again, that's one of those mysteries to me. Obviously, it's, you know, the size of the photo internally. I don't know what it is, or I do know it also depends on the device. It depends on whether it's an Apple phone, Android phone, email. I'm saying it all kind of loads differently at a different pace. It's like sometimes when I tested it, right, I didn't see the thumbnail on my side, but the person received it. So the thumbnail, which is more important than me, right? So it's
Cool.
kind of a weird process, right, of sometimes trying to figure out for sure, like, am I good? You just want to know, am I good here, right, with this thumbnail in that perspective,
Doing everything
right?
on my computer now, not from my phone, but that makes sense. So thank you.
Right. Okay. Good. Anyone else have anything?
I just
Sure.
wanted to ask the group, because I thought that I've heard in here that people literally are thankful that they gave up their Zoom for this. Is that the consensus? Because a person asked me that. And I said, I'm pretty sure there's people in here that say, so I invited her today, but I was a little late because I had a board meeting that butted up and needed to go over. And then I want to ask you, so that was one of the questions I wanted to ask the group. The other question is, does anybody know about Mela Luca and the CEO, executive director, Frank Vandersloot? Because tomorrow, he's got a huge network. Melaleuca is like a grocery store, and their vitamins and their house products, they remove toxic things, and they don't spend money on advertising. So
Let me, Helen, hold on a second. Let me interrupt for you. So Melaleuca is one of the old school, like Shackley, like Amway network marketing companies. They've been around for forever, and they have a great reputation, in the sense that they make great products, they pay their people on time, and they have some innovation. The owner, Frank, that you mentioned, also has a great reputation, a great credibility. So in terms of, are they a worthwhile person, I'm saying, to pursue, that could leverage and take advantage of the software? 100%. They're a great candidate if we can get in front of the right person, right?
That's
It's
what I'm
always
pitching.
that's always the key.
I want to invite you, Steve, tomorrow to the thing he's going to be at, so that
Sure.
CEO, and she's got an appointment scheduled with you for she told me a couple of days. So
Just in saying, you text me at any time, tell me when
Okay.
you need me, and I'll, for something like that, I'll cancel something, that I have, especially when Wednesday's a good day, and I can arrange, as much time as possible. But yeah, on those kind of things, I'm pretty good at prioritizing, certain things that can change, and for certain things
hoping
that
it
can't.
will help
So
us
great
immensely.
candidate. Yeah.
Okay.
And let me just say this about, and let me just say this
US
about Zoom.
Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. Yeah. And let me just answer on behalf of everyone else for Zoom, right? No one knows, and no one is more grateful to Zoom than I am, right? I'm saying I earned a tremendous amount of money with Zoom. I had a chance to be incredibly creative, and I loved working with them until they went public, right? So that's different than the experience of customers, right? That's the experience of being a partner with them, right? They change their culture, they change their values, they change their priorities. Not saying mine are better, they were just different than the way I want of putting a customer first. They were forced to, becoming much more P&L oriented because they have shareholders, right? In that perspective. And so I never want to be in a situation where I'm, speaking negatively about Zoom. I let people's own experiences do that. If you're going to use Pitch and Zoom the same way, I would argue Zoom's better. If straight up, you're just going to do a meeting, talk to some friends and family, do a corporate board meeting, I don't know that I could stand in front of the room and go, you shouldn't use Zoom, you should use ours. But if you want to be a forward-thinking webinar person and you want to create a different experience that you absolutely, unequivocally, without a doubt, cannot create on Zoom, which I think is a different experience, inarguably, and I think our differences make it a better experience, then there's no doubt that anyone who literally sells a product in real time, gets someone to enroll, books a meeting, creates a real-time translation, right? They're experiences that are undeniable, that are better. And so what I say to you, there's people that use their iPhone for their CRM to call their friends and family. They don't race to go to use salesforce.com to call their mom, right? Everything has its use case and right place and right time. And so I'm proud that we could do everything that Zoom does for the people who will 80% of their meetings, maybe just like this, where we're just talking, so they don't have to give that experience up or have an inferior experience in order to have a normal webinar or meeting space. But that's just the starting point of the conversation. That's not the end. And so that's what I would say to people. It's not a requirement to give up your Zoom to have a pitch meeting.
Okay.
Because there may be Zoom meetings that you're comfortable with and that we're not marginally different. So why shake the tree?
So the other thing is I had a unique business experience today. I've never experienced anybody else doing business with me like that. So Network Solutions is who I bought a bunch of Wellness Weavers domain names from. And they called me yesterday wanting me to get wellnessweavers.ai. They said, you need that to protect. And I was like, I do want to protect myself. So I bought it. And I said, I want to talk to your leader. I want your leader, your CEO, So anyway, they said, oh, well, we're under newfold.com. Does anybody, and they took my credit card information blind.
But
They said,
Helen, I don't want to cut you off, but does this relate to anything for anyone else on today's call besides your
it
personal
makes
experience?
doing
Okay?
business. I was able to give them my credit card without them seeing it on a phone call. So I'd
Okay.
never experienced anybody doing that. And so all of you that are techie, all of this is business is your whole wheelhouse and making this a fabulous experience. Does anybody know about that? Is that something we should be looking into? If for people,
Without all the context, so what did you actually do? How were you able to give them a credit card without giving them a credit card?
She said, I said, and they didn't give me a link or anything. So what she had me use was, I had my touchpad, just like if you're calling a number and then they say, enter this for this and enter that to go through, snake through their system. She just said, now you can enter your credit card on using the touch pad.
Okay. So you still gave them.
Enter your expiration date. And then she said, and now enter the code.
Hold on. Sorry, we're limited on time, so I don't mean to ever be rude to you, but I'm just trying to keep it going. So you still had to give them your credit card information, your expiration date. There was no shortcut to that. Whether you do it on a touchpad, whether you do it on a swipe, they still have to receive the information. I'm saying if there's a great system, if you want to text it to me, or if there's a software that you're aware of, otherwise I'll certainly look at it. But I don't instantaneously, I don't see the value between typing in an order form the credit card or typing it in on a pad. I'm still typing it in. So I didn't quite initially see the difference.
It wasn't a form of any kind. It was just I not having me click on any kind of link or anything. I'd never.
Okay. No, so I understand. It's more of a sequential experience than a form fill out. Okay. I'll certainly Google that.
Guaranteed that it was. Take a look. She said all we can see are your last four numbers.
Okay. No, that's great. Thank you. Again, I'm always looking for the latest technology, so that'd be great. I know. And if you have another question, Wayne, just hold on a second, because I know Suzanne had one too, right?
Yeah, I have several. Well, one is just I used the actual link today for a client, and it was showing us side by side. I'm not used to that. I'm used to speaker front. And when I went in, I realized that for HIPAA compliance, I don't think it'll go that way, that direction to speaker. It'll only go that direction on the second option. To be able to have the speaker first, in the little box for the person that's not the speaker.
Right. I don't know how that affects HIPAA compliant, but it might. You're more educated than I am in that area. But yes, right now there are two different experiences, and that's what we're going to be merging into one with more features. So whatever feature currently is on one, will be on two. We'll be on two, plus we'll have additional experiences on two. Yes, there will not be.
Okay.
Correct. Right. Which is the reason we have the two systems, because every feature, as soon as every feature is on the one, right, we don't need the other one as well.
Yeah, I get it. So that was just a technical thing. And then the other thing, well, they're all technical, I guess. The thumbnail, it seemed like the dimensions were a certain way, and I couldn't get a thumbnail up on the particular video.
Where did you get the thumbnail from? Did you get it from your photos?
Yeah.
What did you post up?
I was trying to
save
load
it to your photos
from my photo.
And what happened when you loaded it? Did you get an error message?
Yeah, it just said something to the effect that it couldn't load because of.
Yeah. So it's a possibility. And again, I know Gary's lived this more than I have actually, right? Is sometimes the photo file may be too large.
Right.
And so we can only compress it to a certain point, or sometimes you save the photo in a different format than we accept. So I think we normally accept PNG and JPEG. Yeah. I know there's a favorite one versus the other one. I don't know which one PNG, is the favorite, but I know that sometimes if you go to a third-party site and compress the photo and then resave it to your photos, that sometimes that will work if the photo is just too big. So that's what I meant. Like every photo that I do on mine, they're always just simply screenshots from my computer that I upload into my photos, and I've never had one rejected. I do use some of my old photos, which you can probably tell which one are my older photos and which ones are current. And I personally don't have, that issue, but other people who have the issue, if I'm sharing it, it's usually just format. It's format and size. It's really the only two reasons it doesn't say in that sense. Okay.
And then
Third.
the other question, I had a third question, and that had to do with, okay, so I did my video and I did, the speaking part, and then I said, go to this link to my calendar. And I didn't see the link show up, and then I'm wondering, how do I embed that into my website?
Embedding in the website is different than just having, first of all, a completed video, right? So as the completed video and the link, did that work for you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the
Let's keep the embedded as a fourth question.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I meant.
Because I can actually.
Yeah, I'm saying if you send me the link of the video that you recorded, does it play? Does it work? Did you?
Yes.
Okay. So standalone,
I just didn't
share the link and play it.
No, the link plays. I just didn't see the place for the calendar to sign up for the calendar on the calendar.
Did you add your calendar as a website?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
And did you? Okay. The key to adding, let's say, your website is, first of all, make sure it's the right link, that it's open, because sometimes like Calendly has two links, one to get to the calendar and then the calendar itself. So make sure you copy the right link. So have it open up on your browser as if someone was about to do it before you copy it, and then use that link.
Oh, okay.
At the time that you want it. Because I'm saying that happens frequently to me. I'm saying so.
And then you put that link into the video.
Yeah, so if it's staring on my phone or my computer and I'm a guest and I'm going to pick a day and a time, that's the page, that's the link that you want to make sure you copy. And that's how exactly it'll open at that time. And by the way, Chandra, how are you?
I'm great. Yeah, great to see you. I'm just still learning, so don't mind me.
No, don't just ignore everyone here. They don't even notice you're here. They don't know. They're multitasking. They're not paying attention. They don't know. Just you and I are talking.
Oh, okay, awesome. So yeah, that is so cool. So I'm really excited. I have a meeting that I'm putting together for the first time. So I'm just like, okay, let me learn as much as I can.
And just remember, if you want to do a dress rehearsal with me, before you do it with them, so you won't be as nervous, I'll who knows? I may even whip out my
I
credit
would be
card.
honored. Yes, I would be so honored to have you do that for me. Yeah, I would be honored. Yeah, I'm so excited. You have no idea.
No, I'm excited for you, right? So that would be great. So yeah, feel free. I'm saying to grab my calendar, hook a time, and we'll just pretend, that Gary and I'll bring Gary, and he'll bring his credit card too. Where we want you to have the real feeling of success in that first meeting.
Oh, you are a blessing. You are a blessing to the world too. I'm so grateful for everyone. Yeah, especially you.
Eric, I know that you guys have been on a little bit of a holding pattern. Is there anything I can do to support you, Eric, in the learning curve of feeling more comfortable with the system? Not to put you on the spot. Sorry.
I'm trying to figure out what the difference between, how many avatars you can have. How do you determine how many you already have?
You can have as many as you want. I'm saying they stay in your library, in that sense. What we haven't done, right? We haven't put a limit of how many avatars that you get for free every month in each plan yet, right? Maybe I'm a really bad business person, but we've been giving away avatars for free to people. So in this sense, until we finalize what our pricing is, I'm just encouraging people to use it. Not just sit there making 1,000 videos all day to show mom, but I'm saying whatever you need from us, if you email support@mypitch.com, we'll just give you credits until we start to charge people. And from hopefully a smart business point of view, the reason I haven't charged, right, is we're still tinkering, with our best experience. And our best experience also has different costs, right? So I don't want to go out there and charge you one price and then 3 weeks later and go, oh, we're much smarter than we thought we were, and we can charge you half that amount of money, right? So we really I'd rather go out there the first time, the right time, at the right pricing. And so it's easier for me to actually give it away for free than to explain one day why we were one price one day and the next price the next day. But each plan will have a certain number of free avatars that you can make. And then in each plan, you'll be able to buy a package, of additional ones. Obviously, the higher the package, the better the pricing or the more videos you get. I mean, it's going to be common sense. We're also going to have it where there may be people that don't want to do webinars, and maybe they just want to do avatars. And we'll have that as a separate product as well that I would love to have a commission value for you. So just like selling a member to do webinars, you can sell a member that's only going to be doing avatars. So that's why there's a lot of moving parts to it, in that sense. And so in the meantime, it's free. So,
Where do you get your thumbnails? Where do you make your thumbnails at?
What's that, Eric? I'm sorry.
Where do you get and make your thumbnails at, and what are they for?
Yes. Oh, the thumbnails. Let me show you. So when you send it doesn't have to be an avatar. Whenever you send a recording, in our system, whether it be just a recording of any meeting, or whether it be, sorry, let me go to my media. There's just one section where you can do it. So if you notice here, I made this video, right? And let's say, for instance, I want to add a thumbnail. And a thumbnail means when somebody gets a text or an email, that's what they're going to see, right, before they open it. So I'm going to hit edit. And you see right here, it says thumbnail. I click on thumbnail, and here's what I hit to upload any picture I want and write any description I want that goes underneath the thumbnail.
Okay.
So that's where you see it says enhanced DSRs, which stands for direct selling rooms. This is what his company does. And so I enhanced direct selling rooms, and then I wrote it underneath, I think you might find this interesting. So when I send him a text of this interactive recording, what is he going to see? First, he's going to see a picture of himself. So I know he's going to open it. And then he's going to read about what it's about and why I'm sending it to him. And as opposed to sending, like we were saying earlier, some boring link, that he doesn't know who it's from or what now I could have put a picture of me. I could have put a picture of his company. I could have put a picture of, a talking coffee bean. It's up to me, whatever I want to do that I think is going to grab his attention. And when I want to add websites that come up at a certain time, or I want to change the website, I click on shared websites, and here's where I can edit it. So notice I put his homepage of his website, and it appears in 5 seconds. Then I put the, why seismic, right? At 20 seconds. And then I put my Calendly at 45 seconds, and the whole video is 59. So I know each one will be there up a comfortable amount of time, as opposed to running out of time or it flashing and not being there. And then I'm able to play this video, so I know exactly what time I want to do it. So now I'm playing
Hey
it.
everyone, Will here.
See?
I just had a very interesting demo with a company called PXch.
So now I go, at 5 seconds, I like that line. I want to bring that up, right? So that's the great part, is I don't have to remember. I can and change that. So that's in your recording section. And then you also have the same thing when you're in your avatar section. So I'm now in my avatar, and I could do the same thing. I go to my recordings, and you see here, it's a little different. It's the same deal, just a little different image. So here's where if I want to watch it, here's where I want to download it, here's where I want to share it, and here's where I want to edit it. And I hit edit, and notice the same menu. Shared websites, thumbnail. There's my white shirt that never renders well, so I wasn't kidding. Okay, and there it is. Okay.
Okay.
So hopefully that explains it. See, you guys are asking me the easy questions now. Oh no, Gail's here. I know I'm getting the hard one. Okay, here it comes. Now it's the balance comes.
No, this is an easy one. I guess I'm really trying to understand the difference when it shows up as my recording versus an avatar. Because I know I've been doing the avatars with a picture.
Yeah.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
here's the difference from a customer experience. I'll show you. If you do it from avatar, if you send it and do it from the avatar, it comes like this. Let me see if I pull the right one here. This one. So here's how Avatar Studio. See what I mean? This is the thumbnail that they'll get.
Mm-hmm.
And when they open it, they click on the button to hit watch it now.
Yes.
So they actually, as soon as they click it, it immediately plays. That's how we set it up from the Avatar Studio. We talked about it, whether we should have them be one and the same or different. In the My Recordings one, they'll just get a pretty thumbnail. They'll just get this, the picture here, and we're coming to Puerto Rico, register for the town hall will be written underneath. So and when they open it, depending on their device, they may have to click play in My Recordings, right? We did this because some people didn't want them to have to click to play. And so when they open it, they click it and it's an automatic instant experience. But that's the two experiences. So either they click this or this, we are coming to Puerto Rico, register for the town hall, will literally be on the thumbnail. They click on the thumbnail and it opens up. And like I say, one day I think we'll decide some uniformity among those two choices. But right now we've kind of got 50% of the people who like one experience and 50% like the other. So I'm only going to make somebody unhappier, right? As opposed to giving you the option about how you want to send it right now in that sense. Okay. Anybody else have?
So speaking of things doing the same thing, where you have screen and you have share, why is that not just one button?
Because it's two completely different functionalities, right? In the sense of screen, if you hit screen to share a screen, screen to share a screen, is that good English? Right? That's your Zoom experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the one where everyone's going to multitask on you. You know what I'm saying? And no one can touch the screen and they think they're in a Zoom meeting, which is great. I mean, it has great value. You also want to use that whenever you're sharing a website to play a video, like a YouTube video or a video that's embedded in a website. Because if you notice, it'll say share this audio tab too. So it's not a nature of our software, it's a nature of the browser, automatically will play that video. So screen share actually still is a really important function if you're going to, especially want to play sound, right? When you use share a website, we give you both options, right? Is you can share it without it being interactive, just like screen share, and you're in control, right? And you could, at the touch of a button seamlessly, make it interactive. So when Chandra's going to be asking me for the credit card tomorrow, if she's in screen share, she's going to be upset because I can't touch the screen, right? But if she's in share a website, she's going to go, oh my God, I can do it. So they both really do have a good functionality. So you'll find sometimes when you're doing demos and you've got a video that's playing from your website, you're going to be in screen share. As soon as that video is over, you can switch it over to share a website because now you really are going to be in control. At a certain point, you're going to want to make it interactive. Maybe you even want to go to a PowerPoint presentation or a Google Slide presentation, which you could all do that through share a website. So it's kind of like anything else, right? As soon as you get your handle on the controls, right, you realize each control does have a purpose, as opposed to just a redundancy of like, why is that button there, right? Each one is to make you a better host. And that's why what I'm excited about in a very short period of time, you're going to have a few other things that I think will make it invaluable. Is, for instance, let's say Chandra's doing a meeting. And like me, she's in a coffee shop today, or like yesterday, unfortunately, right? I'm in bad Wi-Fi, right? Wouldn't it have been great if I could have said, Gary, I'm going to make you a co-host. Can you do the rest of the meeting and share all the websites? You know, you could mute out Levon's noisy background noise. You know, could you do all of that for me? Because I can't do it today, right? You know, and so we're, you know, really close to making that experience, you know, happen, which will be, again, great tool for the host, right? Another great tool for the host you're going to have pretty soon is it's time for breakout rooms. Some people still want that, even though the host is probably a better closer than anyone you're sending to in a breakout room. Still, some people like, you know, have different use cases for breakout rooms that are valuable. And so you'll be able to send people to the breakout room, but you'll also be able to send it with their replicated website. So you can still close people. So you can have 25 people in 25 different breakout rooms, all looking at the right replicated website or affiliate site, so that person can still close, right? We think that's, again, as a host tool, it's kind of like when I was making the AI avatar for tonight without stealing my own thunder, right? And, part of the thing when I'm writing the script, right, I'm having a conversation with myself. And one of the things that we do that no other platform can do is we're the only, and I'm not talking about compared to Zoom, I'm talking about compared to Facebook, compared to Instagram, compared to TikTok, compared to texting, compared to email, is we're the only people that can start a conversation and complete a conversation. That's what really makes us different, right? Is that everyone's great at starting a conversation, but how does it finish? How do you want it to finish? You can finish it any way you want with us. Whether it's a small move to book a next time to see me, whether it's the elephant in the room and, sell that Melaleuca product, I'm saying whatever it is, you're in charge. And you're not only in charge, but you can also put your people in charge on the guests that they bring. So it really is a significant difference once you're comfortable using it, right? And I think Rachel's a great example, right? She went from, I don't know if I could do this, right? To, oh my God, this is cake. You know what I mean? I'm doing 5 meetings a day. I'm, no issue, right? It's like, I don't care who you are, including me, right? There's no one worse than me than having to give up my Zoom after using it for 4.5 years and doing more demos than any human being on the planet Earth in any country in the world to all of a sudden not have my Zoom. Didn't matter that I built it. I was just as uncomfortable as you were because I could do it in my sleep, right? I could do things that no one else even knew you could do on those platforms. It's hard to change, right? None of us love change, right? In that sense of when we're good at something, right? And we could then focus on the stuff we're not as good on versus having to focus on 2 things that are new. It's kind of hard. It's overwhelming.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So if we created the video through Pitch, right? So for example, like I'm doing a fundraising event and I'm going to talk about the, what's going to be happening and stuff like that at this time. Would I be able to convert the video into like a QR code where people can just scan it?
You could. I mean, you wouldn't do it inside of our platform, but there's a ton of softwares that 100% because you can download that video as a standalone video, nothing to do with the website you attach makes no difference, of what it was. It literally is an MP4 file that you download to your computer and you can upload it into YouTube. You can upload it into a QR code. So you could do anything you want with the video separate from what we do, inside of our platform.
Do you know of the platform? Do you know of the platform? I'm not tech savvy, unfortunately, but
no, but
and this is the reason why I'm asking this question.
No, I have seen people put a QR code on our videos, so that's why I'm speaking from some level of confidence that I know they can do it. But I'll ask my infamous Alvaro what software he used to do it. He should only know how famous he is. So. he thinks he's only famous to his 5-year-old son, not to all of you. So. All right. Well, listen, guys. Remember tonight at 9:00 Eastern, we do our business opportunity presentation. So if you have anyone new, anyone old, anyone you want me to take on tonight, bring them to the meeting. We'll do a quick presentation that lasts about 30 minutes or so. Unless Gary does really long testimonials, then it can go 45 minutes, but otherwise it'll be pretty quick. And then we'll invite everyone to watch Ecuador win or lose in the World Cup for the second half after that. So otherwise,
awesome.
Have a great time, everybody, and I'll see you guys tonight. Okay?
Thank you.
See you later.
Okay.
Good night.
Thanks so much. Good